Hello and welcome to Big Talk. Today we have Turkey's ambassador to China, Mr. Murat Salim Esenli, with us to talk about Turkey's accession to the EU and also China's Premier Wen Jiabao's upcoming trip to the country. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Ambassador.
It's a pleasure to be part of this important program. Thank you.
First of all, geographically speaking, Turkey is stretching across Asia and Europe, whereas culturally it has an Islamic tradition. So how would you describe the country to people not familiar with the rich content and history? And is Turkey more of an Asian or European country?
Well, thank you very much for this very pertinent question. Just to enlighten your viewers, the Turks originated from this part of the world. Basically, we were a tribe which was living in today's Mongolia, Inner Mongolia and Siberia, mainly eastern part of Altai Mountains. So we come across to reference Turks in very early Chinese almanacs, dating back to 200 years BC. And if anybody is interested in, for instance, doing some study in this, I would highly recommend them to go to a museum in Hohhot. And there is this whole section about Turkish-Chinese relations in that very modern museum. And this particular section dates back to 600 AD to 830 AD. So as you could see, we have had a lot of dealings, and during that roughly 200 years of relations, we have always had peaceful coexistence with China. We have had many agreements, so it was a very, I think, worthwhile period. And later on, the Turkish tribes started the migration process toward the west. And while they were migrating, of course, they were interacting with other groups of people. And our relationship with Europe has commenced around 1000 AD. So both Turkey and the Western world have shaped each other over the years, over thousands of years. And during that period, after we changed, if I may say that, addresses, we have not lost contact with China. Through the Silk Route, our ties had been maintained, but of course through commercial means. And therefore, it is quite difficult to really place Turkey in one geographic location, because we have our roots in Asia, and we're proud of it. And we have our history with the West, and we are fully integrating with the Western institutions, including European Union, as you pointed out. And so it makes us both Asian and European. And our uniqueness is that, you know, we are both Black Sea country, we are a Mediterranean country, we are a Caucasian country, we are a Balkan country, we are a Middle Eastern country. So we are a combination of all. So we are very, very unique in that sense.
Turkey has been trying to become a full EU membership for decades. And now that it is getting more support from the major European countries. So in your opinion, is there an estimated timetable about when Turkey is going to finally get the EU accession?
Of course, when would Turkey become an EU member state is a question that should be directed to the members of the European Union, because we are encountering some difficulties, but from what I could see is that these are all politically motivated problems, and they go contrary to the decisions of the leaders and also the decisions of the member countries, which was adopted unanimously in all these summits that I have explained. And therefore, I believe the European Union has to kind of put its own house and mind in order. And but there have been always some arguments as to what kind of role would Turkey play if one day it becomes a full member of EU. I think it would play a very positive role. It will come with many assets rather than with burden. We are going to be definitely a starting point for European Union to look at its region and global a little differently. We would give this renewed sense of urgency to European Union. Because when we look at our overall performance, we notice that we have grown faster than many of the European Union countries in the first 6 months of 2010. So just like China, India, Turkey is one of those countries that had grown almost exponentially in comparison to the growth figures of European Union member states. So I think the EU has to really look at Turkey from a different point of view, from a different perspective as a potential partner.